having that central network where you don't have to worry about what system your partner's using, you can just upload your data and retrieve it, and it's always going to be in the same format. It saves time and it's going to make things easier. You and your partners will be looking at the same data set, so it makes collaboration across different enterprises easier. It's like I said, it's just really exciting, and I think what they're doing with the canonical data model is just fabulous. It's awesome. I'm Sam Thompson. I'm the Business Intelligence Manager at Summit SD. We're a wholesale and 3PL distributor, and I worked primarily as the project manager for our integration of TraceLink into our ERP system, Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. We started with our business needs. That's our focus whenever we kick off a project, is the business needs before we necessarily decide what tools we're going to use. And I think it's really easy to get carried away in, what the future is and these high-tech tools, the bells and whistles. And it can also be really easy to focus on the actual pain points and the everyday pains, but not these root causes. And so when you look at things with a wider perspective and you pull back the camera a little bit, you can get a wider view of what direction you want to take the company and what larger goals you're aiming to achieve. And that creates a much better foundation for a project or an implementation when you're moving forward with a new tool. Starting from a siloed system and having your data across multiple platforms presents a lot of issues with reporting and visualizations. You want access to your data and you want to be able to do it quickly. When you are working with siloed systems and you don't have that end-to-end integration, it can be very tricky and time-consuming to make sure that all of those fields are lining up and all of that data is related in a way that's useful for you. So when you talk about building foundations for a system, that data integrity is absolutely a key point. And some ways you can do that is having systems that are obviously integrated with each other and transferring that data back and forth, and getting away from manual data entry as much as possible. So automating those processes where the systems are talking and there's no human intervention, and you know that those items are going to be connected across your entire system. That's really the key strength of having end-to-end integration and data that spans the whole system. The canonical data model is really exciting. It's kind of like a Rosetta Stone between all of these different file types and integrations and partners. And so having that central network where you don't have to worry about what system your partner's using, you can just upload your data and retrieve it, and it's always going to be in the same format. It saves time and it's going to make things easier. You and your partners will be looking at the same data set, so it makes collaboration across different enterprises easier. It's like I said, it's just really exciting, and I think what they're doing with the canonical data model is just fabulous. It's awesome. When you build a system for future-proof, really the key word would be being agile, right? You want a system that can move and morph to whatever the needs of your specific business partners are. And to ensure that we did that, you want to really stay away from a hard-coded workaround solution. So, the old adage, like a square peg in a round hole, you want to avoid that as much as possible. And if you can use systems as out of the box and work to what their strengths are, that gives you a lot more room for those edge cases where maybe you can change things around. But if you have a really unique business model that you set up with your systems and it's very rigid, it's going to be difficult to accept those new business opportunities, or if there's new regulations that come in, your company won't be as ready, it won't be as agile, and you won't be flexible. Well, it's funny future-proofing our system diagram of how they all work together. It's not really a permanent document, it's more of a living document, so it changes. We're always looking for what are better ways that we could integrate systems. Can we be pulling data from a different source? Are there new tools that are being released that would help us achieve our goals more? And I think it's just being open-minded, and then also because we're visiting it so often, we have a really good understanding of how these systems are working together, and whether it's working with our partners often on updates or just internally troubleshooting and understanding what's going on within the system, that gives us so much more agility and understanding to say, hey, this is a new problem. Maybe we can tackle it this way within the system. We can use the system a different way, or we can integrate with a brand new system, and this would be a good space for it to plug in. Yeah, I think so. Using AI in a way that's compliant is really tricky, right? Their AI sort of operates in this black box where you can't see exactly what's going on, and that's always going to be difficult from a compliance standpoint because you can't validate exactly what reasoning is going on behind those decisions. But some areas where AI is really good is where it can take away that human error element or that manual data entry. So any tasks that are very repetitive, that have really kind of these binary choices and it's very clear which way to go, that's a great place to start with AI. And I think as we start integrating it and utilizing it in scenarios like that, it'll, one, train the AI better to understand our business processes, and it'll lay a groundwork for us to understand how we can use AI and how it fits into these systems. I think over the next couple of years, we'll really see new uses for AI and how things will unfold, and I think it's going to move a lot faster than everyone thinks.